Why your best clients leave without warning. Most B2B experts don't lose their best clients suddenly. They lose them slowly, over weeks, sometimes months. There's a drift that happens beneath the surface. Slower responses, maybe a narrowing scope, a growing distance that reads like busyness, but it's actually disengagement. By the time the cancellation arrives, the decision to leave was made a long time ago. I'm Anita Toth, a reputation-led revenue advisor, and I work with B2B experts, agency founders, consultants, and coaches who have built something real on reputation and relationships, but keep running into the same wall when it comes to keeping the clients they work the hardest to earn. This video is about that wall, specifically why your best clients leave, why it feels like all of a sudden, even though it wasn't, and why the usual advice about client retention This video is all about that wall, specifically why your best clients leave, why it always feels sudden when it wasn't, and why the usual advice about client retention completely misses the problem. I'm going to walk you through 3 things I see happening with almost every B2B expert I work with. And if any of this sounds familiar, that's the point. Number 1, the cancellation that came out of nowhere. Let's start with the moment itself. You get a message, maybe it's an email, maybe it's a LinkedIn DM, and it says something like, we're going in a different direction, or we need to pause for now, or we're restructuring internally and we need to make some changes. And you're blindsided. Because as far as you knew, things were fine. The work was solid, the last call felt good, there were no complaints. So you go back through every interaction trying to find what you missed. And the worst part is the signals were there. You just didn't know what to look for. Here's what I want you to understand. Most B2B experts don't lose their best clients suddenly. They lose them slowly. Over weeks, sometimes even months. There's a drift that happens below the surface. You're getting slower responses, maybe a narrowing of scope, a growing distance that reads like busyness, but it's actually disengagement. By the time the cancellation arrives, the decision to leave was made a long time ago. And the reason this feels unfair is because you're doing everything right on the delivery side. You're hitting the milestones, you're producing the work, but delivery and relationship are not the same thing. And for your best clients, the relationship is what keeps them. Number 2, the intelligence gap where most businesses are stuck. Here's where it gets uncomfortable and very specific. In all my years of working with B2B clients on customer intelligence and retention, I've noticed that there are 3 distinct levels at which you can know your clients. Most businesses are only operating at one of them. And that gap between what they think they know and what's actually true is where client drift is born. Level 1 is what they get, the deliverables, the results, the metrics. You know this stuff cold. Every B2B expert does. You can tell me exactly what you produced, what you delivered, what moved the needle. This is the level almost everybody operates at. Level 2 is how your clients feel, their relationship to you beyond the work, how they experience working with you, not just what they received from you. Most B2B experts assume they know this. They don't. They guess. And the gap between what they assume and what's actually true is where cancellations are born. Level 3 is what your clients want to become. This is their deeper ambition. Why this engagement matters beyond the immediate result. What they're really trying to build, protect, or prove. Almost nobody knows this about their clients. Almost nobody asks. I work with a B2B consultant who thought her business was stable. She had 3 solid clients, good revenue, things felt okay, and then 1 client exited. It was a leadership change on their side, so nothing she did wrong, but overnight, 30% of her revenue was gone. When we dug into it, she realized she had been operating entirely at level 1. She knew what she delivered. She assumed the relationship was strong. She never had a real conversation about how her best clients actually felt or what they were trying to become. And she told me, I thought I knew them, but I didn't know them in the way I thought I did. And that's the intelligence gap. Almost every B2B expert I meet is living in it, not because they don't care about their clients, but because nobody ever showed them what it costs to stay at level 1. And the third point is the conversation that changes everything. This is the conversation that most B2B experts never have, and it's the one thing that changes everything. There's a specific conversation you can have with your best clients that moves you from level 1 to level 3 in a single session. It surfaces how your clients actually feel about the relationship, not just the deliverables, and it catches the drift signals before they become a cancellation. It tells you what they value most that you may have been taking for granted, and it consistently reveals that your best clients are more invested, more loyal, and more ready to refer you than you ever realized. Most B2B experts never have this conversation because they assume everything's fine and they don't see the point, or they're afraid of what they might hear, or they simply just don't know what to ask. I worked with an accountant who went through this process with one of his longest standing clients. He asked her this specific question. He expected her to say something about accurate books or timely filings or keeping the government off her back. That's level 1. That's what he delivered. But he was stunned by what she actually said. And she said, "You help me sleep better at night." Whoa. That's level 3. That's what she valued. Not the deliverables, the relief. The feeling of having someone she completely trusted in her corner. And he had never known that. And because he didn't know it, he wasn't saying it. Not in his proposals, not in his conversations with prospects, not when he asked for referrals. One 15-minute conversation with her changed all of that. The clients who are drifting will tell you if you ask the right way. And the right way is simpler than most people expect. This is all you have to do. Book a 15-minute call with 5 to 8 of your best clients. And you're going to ask these 3 questions. The first question is a level 1 question. Why did you choose us over all other options? This surfaces what they valued before the work even started. And it's almost always never what you assumed. The second question goes to level 2. Beyond the results, what makes you stay? This is where the relationship lives, not the deliverables, the experience of working with you. This is the question the accountant asked. This is what unlocked, "You help me sleep better at night." And the third question reaches level 3. If a colleague had this problem, how would you describe what we do? This gives you their language, not yours. And that language is something most B2B experts have never had access to before. Take that language and put it in your next proposal and watch how differently it lands. Put it in your LinkedIn headline and see who starts recognizing themselves in it. Use it word for word when you ask for a referral, because now you're giving your clients the exact sentences they need to describe you to someone else who needs your help. You're not asking them to find the words. You're actually handing the words back to them. The clients who are drifting will tell you something's shifting. The ones who are thriving will give you the words you could have never written yourself. Either way, after these conversations, you walk away operating at a completely different level of client intelligence than you had before. And that client intelligence is what stops the blind side. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Client retention is not a delivery problem. You can operate perfectly at level 1, hitting every milestone, producing excellent work, and still lose clients you never saw coming because the relationship drifted while you were focused on the output. The cancellations that feel unfair, they're not random. They're the result of an intelligence gap between level 1, what you know you delivered, and levels 2 and 3, how your clients actually feel and what they're ultimately trying to become. That gap is the intelligence gap. And that's the way you stop, is not by working harder or delivering more. It's by listening to your clients at a different level. That's the foundation of what I build with my clients inside the Silent Revolution. We're going to start with your best clients and asking the questions most B2B experts never ask. We surface the intelligence that tells you who is thriving, who is drifting, and what the relationship actually needs. And we build a system around that intelligence so your best clients stay longer, they refer people like themselves to you, and help you attract more clients just like them with your marketing. And then the grind stops because you built a system that compounds it. If any of this has landed with you, here's where to go next. You can learn more about how I work and what the Silent Revolution builds at hiddenrev.com. And if you want to start a conversation with me directly, you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm easy to find and I read every message. Your best clients aren't leaving because your work isn't good enough. They're leaving because the relationship drifted while you were focused on the delivery. The good news is that drift is completely visible once you know what to look for. And it starts with one conversation you probably haven't had yet. Take care and bye for now.